Hello, friends. I think you are all well by the grace of God. I bless you, and I'm very happy to see you in the next video. Okay, and in this class, we are going to discuss about clutches and bearings. Okay, so first of all, we are going to see about clutch. Clutch is a device to connect driving and driven shafts of a machine where the driven shaft can be disconnected almost instantaneously from the driving shaft as desired by the operator or driver. Okay, just to keep an example, if two couplings are connected to, if I want to disconnect it, if I want to disconnect the driver and driven, okay, from where the power is coming, it is called as driver, and through that which is operating, it is called as driven. So this driver, between the driver and driven, one we are keeping a device. This device is used to separate. If I don't want to transmit the power, I can disconnect it by me or by an operator or by a driver. That device is called as a clutch. See here, the picture is given here, and what are the colors are given. It is kind of side. If you see, you can see it. Requirements of clutch: torque transmission, gradual engagement, heat dissipation, dynamic balancing, vibration damping, size, inertia, easy of operation. These are the requirements of clutch. First one, torque transmission. The clutch should be able to transfer the maximum torque of engine under all conditions. Usually designed to transmit 125 to 150 percentage of maximum engine torque. Okay, each and every clutches are designed in that method only. The clutches must be transfer maximum torque of engine. Okay, in all condition, कुछ भी condition, whatever the condition it may be, it must transfer maximum of torque in all conditions. Second one, gradual engagement. Clutch should take the drive gradually without occurrence of sudden jerks. Okay, whenever I'm using the clutch, so when I am pressing the clutch, it must be the operation, the engagement must be gradual. If there is any up and down, so the problem will happen. The driven shaft or driven shaft can be broke also. So the gradual engagement is that one. Heat dissipation. During clutch application, large amount of heat is generated. The rubbing surface should have sufficient area and mass to absorb the heat generated. The design of clutch should ensure proper ventilation or cooling for adequate dissipation of heat. When the clutch engaged, the maximum of heat will be generated. So for that purpose only, in the driven shaft or in the driver shaft, the surface must be sufficient that it may absorb the heat. Dynamic balancing. This is necessary particularly in high speed clutches. हाई स्पीड क्लचेस में ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. Vibration damping. Suitable mechanism should be incorporated within the clutch to eliminate the noise produced in transmission. Size. The size of clutch must be smallest possible so that it occupy minimum amount of space. Inertia. The clutch rotating part should have minimum inertia. Otherwise, when clutch plate is released for gear changing, clutch plate will keep on spinning. Easy of operation. The operation is of disengaging the clutch should be easy for driver. In a car, you need a clutch because the engine spins all the time. But the clutch allows us to smoothly engage a spinning engine to a non-spinning transmission by controlling the slippage between them. Okay. How an automobile clutch works, it is given in the here. So clutch plate is given there. Manual transmission. If I put the gear, before putting the gear, I have to press the clutch. When I'm pressing the clutch, it will disconnect the driver and driven. Then I will change the gear. Then it will be again. When I will releasing the clutch, it will connect. the power will be increased, the torque will be increased. Okay. Classification of clutches: jaw clutches, friction clutches, hydraulic clutches. In friction clutches, there are three types: plate clutches, cone clutches, centrifugal clutches. In plate clutches, single plate and multi plate. Cone clutch. If you see at the diagram, there is one. It is like a cone type. Okay, it is like a cone type, so it is called as a cone clutch. Look at the diagram. Look at the brown color in the diagram. If you look at the brown color, it will look like a cone type, so it will go and connect the friction will be in a cone type. It will be in a slope two sides. It will be in an internal slope, so that is why it is called as a cone clutch. So main parts: cones, female cones, shaft, friction material, spring, clutch control, rotating direction. This is the working principle of the cone clutch. So for disengaging the clutch, okay, whenever you engage, the torque will be transmitted and the flywheel and the male cone to spring your box shaft. And when you are disengaging the clutch, the male cone is pulled out by means of lever system operated through the clutch pedal, thereby separating the contact surfaces. These are the advantages and disadvantages of the cone clutch. Okay. Now, single plate clutch. These clutches are used in most of the automotive vehicles. Whatever the automobile vehicles are, we are using in the most of the automobile vehicles. The single plate clutches are only used. This is a single plate clutch drawing. Working of single plate clutch. Same way. Okay. If you see the diagram, when I apply the brake, okay, here is that clutch pedal. When I apply the clutch pedal, the fulcrum pin will move in right side, and it will make the clutch shaft to move front. Okay, so when it moves front, the clutch plate will release the driver and driven shaft, and then after that it will if I want to change the gear or anything, I will change the gear, then I will release the pedal, so fulcrum pin will come to the same position, and then the clutch shaft will be come outside, and then the both driver and driven will be connected, then the speed and torque will be transmitted from the driver to driven. So these are the advantages and disadvantages of the single plate clutch. With single plate clutch, gear changing is easier than with cone clutch because the pedal movement is less in this case. As compared to cone clutch, springs have to be more stiff, and this means greater force required to be applied by driver while disengaging. So diaphragm spring type single plate clutch. This is the diaphragm. Uh, what are the advantage? Okay, if you see here, same process only. It is going to apply here. So throughout bearing. So if you look at the down gear, if you apply the clutch, it will. So here is the pressure plate, clutch plate, flywheel, clutch cover, diaphragm spring, two transmission where it has to be go, and throw out bearing. It will throw out the bearing, means up and down movement. This was the advantages of diaphragm clutch. Second one is multi-plate clutch. Multi-plate clutch. This one is used in bike, scooters, like that. Okay, these are used in the it is bike, and so pressure plates are there, friction plates are there, driven and driver shaft. Multi-plate clutch. How it does work? Okay, if you see it here, look at that. There is no connection between driver and driven. Okay, when I have applied the clutch, so that there is no connection. When I release the clutch, the driver will go front. It will go front, and it will attach to the driver, and it will start to operate automatically. Centrifugal clutch is type of clutch in which Centrifugal force is used to connect engine drive shaft with the shaft of transmission by using the centrifugal force which is applied in the brake, that is called as a applied in the clutch, it is centrifugal clutch. See at the diagram, it is shown here, same driver and driven. See only one, the motions are different. Okay, single plate clutch, only one plate will be there. In other two sides the friction material will be there. In multi plate clutch, same way, there will be multi plates attached with friction area. And here also centrifugal force. So in round shape it will be there, the force will be act in a centrifugal type. The main part, shoe spring, spider or guides, friction lining and drum. The same way, the working principle, advantage and disadvantage and application. Okay, next we are going to see about the bearing. Simple pivot bearing. Okay, pivot bearing, a bearing that sustains the foot of a vertical shaft or spindle is known as to be pivot bearing. Vertical shaft or spindle sustains the foot of a vertical shaft or spindle. This is a diagram of the simple pivot bearing. Collar bearing. The collar bearing is a type of thrust bearing. In thrust bearing, the load acts along the axis of the shaft as in turbine shafts. The collar bearing usually have a single or a multiple number of collars depending upon the applications. Okay. Conical bearing. The bearing surface is planed at the end of a shaft to take the axial thrust are known as pivots. The pivot may have a flat surface or conical surface. So in the word, always I will tell in a mechanical, by keeping the word you can explain the definition. If the if the surface is conical, that is called a pivot may have a flat surface or a conical surface. When the cone is truncated in this, it is then known as truncated or trapezoidal pivot. Friction of pivot and collar bearing. Okay. The rotating shafts are frequently subjected to axial thrust. The propeller shaft of ships, the shafts of steam turbines. Okay. So this is the diagram of flat pivot, conical pivot, truncated pivot, single flat collar and multi-flat collar. Okay. So this is the formula to find out the power of bearing. P is equal to 2 by Nt divided by 60. N means speed, T means torque. Okay. And when the counter bearing of the shaft is considered, then the bearing pressure P is equal to W by A. A is equal to pi into capital R squared minus small r squared. Small r is radius of counter bore and capital R is outer bore. This is the finish. So whenever you are thinking I'm giving up, so don't give up always, because of I will tell you, just always pray and never give up. Never give up. Okay. God is with you. He will help you. He will guide you. God bless you. And just this video, if it is helped for you, not it is every glory will go to the God. Thank you and God bless you.